What's up, everybody? Let's start off by introducing what this actually is. So, I've decided I'm going to do a new kind of series, a weekly series on the channel, and it's basically going to do a brief little bit of a rundown of some of the biggest, most exciting bits of car news from the past week, in my opinion. So, the best 4, maybe 5 stories, and then a few little side stories that are kind of interesting to note. So, with that, now that you know what you're here for, let's get into it. This is January week 1 of 2017. The first story is a new Ford GT inspired Mustang is being built. Here's some pictures of it. This is by 0 to 60 Designs. It's called the GTT. Now, the name, I believe, was originally going to be the 0 to 60 Designs GT. The Ford and 0 to 60 Designs lawyers, I guess, kind of got in talks with each other, and this was kind of the agreed upon settlement for the name. It's going to be a limited run of just 50 cars that are going to be made. Pricing will start at $125,000. Now that's quite a bit for a Mustang, but I mean, it's a pretty cool looking Mustang, so you have to give it some diligence there. The range topper, there's going to be 3 different models. The GTT SL is the range topper, and that could have as much as 800 horsepower. Alright, so that's the first story. Story 2 for this week, we have the exotic Rides W70. Now this, I've seen it being called a LaFerrari knockoff or a LaFerrari wannabe, and I remember when this project first was kind of hit the air. It was back in 2014, and I think that's what it kind of started off as. But when you see what it's appeared to be, when it's come out to be, it's a unique supercar all in its own right. It definitely takes some inspiration, from Ferrari, but in the end of the day, it is its own thing, and I quite like it. Alright, so there's going to be 70 of these built. It's got a 7.0 liter V8 that's sourced from GM. The engine creates 625 horsepower. Pricing starts at $250,000. Now, at the time of this recording, there is no performance specs available, no 0 to 60 time, no top speed. If I had to guess, I would say 0 to 60 is probably going to be low 3-second range, 3.2, 3.3, that's somewhere around there. Top speed, I don't know how much the car weighs. I would say top speed's probably going to be around 200 to 210, somewhere in that range. Alright. The third story for this week is a brand new, it's kind of exciting, this is interesting. A company called Faraday Future has created a car that's going to be on sale as early as next year. It's going to be known as the Faraday Future FF91. Deliveries will commence in 2018. The car, despite not being a small sports car, is going to have as much as 1,050 horsepower. Now, that's obviously not traditional horsepower, as this is an all-electric car, but it has the equivalent of 1,050 horsepower. A 0 to 60 time of 2.39 seconds is the current estimate. And for a car that looks as big as this does, that is insane. That is extremely cool, though, at the same time. We'll have all-wheel drive, not really something that's new or shocking, especially in the world of electric cars nowadays. A 378-mile range. Now that's interesting, because that's one of the longest ranges for an electric car that I know of. And those will be from 130 kilowatt battery packs. So, this is the Faraday Future FF91. It's pretty cool. I mean, I feel like if Faraday Future wanted to, they could make a sports car with this technology that they have. And they could make a very fast electric sports car. Maybe it would go kind of like a Rimac Concept 1 kind of esque supercar style, maybe. I'd like it. I think it'd be cool to see. Our story number 4 this week is the brand new 2017 Bentley Continental Supersports. Now look at this thing. This thing is cool. It's kind of like the old Supersport. It's kind of like the Continental GT Speed. And it also has the bits of the GT3 race car in there. I really like it. Now this is the most powerful and the fastest street legal production Bentley ever made. Let that sink in. Now, its top speed is 209 miles an hour, 700 horsepower, from a twin turbocharged 6.0 liter W12 engine that will produce 750 pound-foot of torque. That's pretty awesome. Now, 0 to 60 time is still, it's 3.4 seconds, which isn't as quick as you might think for a car with 700 horsepower and a 209 top speed. But this is a Bentley, okay? This is luxury on wheels. So you can be cruising in the lap of luxury at 209 miles an hour. Just think about that. Now, it weighs a very, very hefty 5,027 pounds. That is a heavy car. But for a car that can go as fast as that to only weigh, for a car that weighs that much to be able to go that fast, that's an accomplishment right there. And Bentley has done an amazing job. Can't wait to see that car. Pricing for that begins at $296,025, which, when you look at some competitors, is not bad price-wise. I can't afford it. Probably you can't afford it either. But if you can, I would buy it. Alright, and we're going to end up today's episode, the first episode of this new series, with a few little side stories. A side story from this week: the new Pagani Huayra Roadster. Some images were leaked. I'm not going to show you the images here because I don't want to be a part of the leak, but it basically is the Pagani Huayra in roadster form, and it looks like it's a snippet out of a magazine. If you really want to see it, you can look it up. I mean, I believe it's going to be debuted at the Geneva show, so it'll be on the show here within a couple months. Geneva is in March, usually, so it'll be here in a little secondary side story. Mustang. Ford has announced the Mustang will have a hybrid version that'll be debuting in 2020. So, hybrid muscle cars, if that's your thing, just wait for 2020. And a third and final side story for this week, guys. Subaru has taken the WRX STI and given it a quick little facelift. I'll put in a picture here for you to see. Boom. Look at that. I kind of like it. I like the way it looks. It looks just a little touch better than it needed before they do an all-around redesign of it in the next few years. Alright, guys, that's the week. Let me know what you think of this series, because I'm pretty curious to see how you guys will respond to it. Leave a like, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you guys next time.